focus. Ideate, innovate, enable.
After traveling to 5 campuses around the country in search of India's most promising marketeers, we have now arrived at the 6th stop, IIM Ahmedabad. Hello and welcome to Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 8. The challenge is halfway through and we are getting closer to shortlisting contestants for the semi-final round. Well, IIM Ahmedabad has been consistently ranked as one of the top leading business schools in India, so it will be interesting to find out what innovative ideas the contestants here come up with. Well, before we head on to that, let's take a quick look at what L.I.M.E is all about.
Welcome to the grand finale of Hindustan Unilever and CNBC TV 18's Lessons in Marketing Excellence.
Who's the core target audience?
We are just targeting on investors,
potential suppliers. State road checkpoints. We are assuming 2022, but what next?
I have better answers. We will think about it.
Very effective in terms of the 8th campaign.
Budding marketeers to come out with creative ideas.
CNBC TV 18 and Hindustan Unilever have partnered over the last 8 years to bring together India's top B-school students. The aim is to generate fresh marketing ideas and promote industry interaction. Every campus is presented with a real-life case study and contestants have to come up with innovative solutions to specific challenges. Five teams at each campus are selected to be part of an executive pitch. 2 teams are further shortlisted for an in-depth interaction with the jury. Every campus has 1 winning team. 15 teams make it to the national level semi-finals. 3 top teams then battle it out at the grand finale. It's a competition that has now gained enduring appeal, a must-do for B-school students year after year. What gives L.I.M.E a twist every season is a fresh theme. And based on this, L.I.M.E hosts a set of companies whose objectives and ideas resonate with this particular theme. The focus for Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 8 is brands with a purpose. So let's find out more about the brand and its challenges that contestants at IIM Ahmedabad are getting ready for. A cab service for women by women. Interested? Then Saka Consulting Wings might just be what you need. The Delhi-based company offers 3 services: contractual placement of drivers, commercial taxi services and chauffeur on call.
Saka is a unique social enterprise which works with 2 purposes. One is to provide alternate safe transport solution for women by women in select cities of India and to provide employment to our trained women drivers.
Sakha currently operates in Delhi, Jaipur, Indore and Kolkata. Women drivers, mainly from resource-poor communities, are motivated to take up driving as a profession. They are then provided relevant training. This is no mean task. Driving is still considered as a career in the informal sector and mindsets are often rigid.
If it's a female driver that we place with an individual household, and if the driver is sitting in the car, then they will come and say, why is a female driver sitting in the car? She's just sitting and talking on a mobile phone. Whereas a male driver, if he's sitting in a car and not doing anything else, we don't have those kind of issues.
While the number of women drivers registered with Sakha is on the rise, customer numbers are not keeping pace. This is the challenge that Lessons in Marketing Excellence contestants need to work on.
So we want the L.I.M.E Challenge participants to focus on the marketing, brand visibility and how to target niche section of a clientele.
As the company looks to expand its reach, it hopes to continue grooming confident and well-trained women drivers. Sakha Consultancy Wings is definitely doing a great job by giving opportunities to women who are willing to stand on their feet. While IIM Ahmedabad actively participates in broadening its purview of learning beyond business by integrating it with the objective of serving a purpose. One such example is Amazon, an annual food and agribusiness summit that strives to spread awareness on food and health issues. Well, it seems like the contestants at IIM Ahmedabad won't have a hard time wrapping their heads around this season's theme, or will they? We'll find that out in a bit, but before that, let's take a quick look around the campus and get to know the contestants.
We have designed a trivia to help you guys guess the name of our team. We derive our name from a movie franchise we started way back in 1977.
We shoot our enemies with lasers red and green, but we never seem to get our targets right.
We love the color white, but we see the world through black. And if you still haven't been able to guess the name of our team,
In a galaxy far, far away, there was an army of soldiers that served the dark Sith Lord.
and that's who we are. We're Team Stormtroopers.
Hi Kritika,
Hi Soumya, where have you been?
I've just been around. I've been thinking, what is that one word which best sums up a life here?
Pata nahi. Stress maybe?
True. But apart from that, friends, opportunities, so many things are there.
Yeah, business events, classes, everything is just pushing us all over the place.
But is there any one word which incorporates everything?
Maybe the feeling of chaos?
Our cultural fest.
Exactly. So what do you think our team name should be? Chaotic Calm.
We as a team believe that success is a journey and not a destination, and doing is more important than the outcome.
We have embarked on this journey together to find what we want. And along the way, we hope to discover what we really need.
We are Team Safari.
We are Team Ahura, and we play to win.
As the teams gear up for the challenge, here's a look at how IIM Ahmedabad fared in the previous seasons of L.I.M.E. After the break, catch the teams present their ideas to the jury. Well, after travelling across 5 campuses, the L.I.M.E bandwagon has now hit the 6th stop at IIM Ahmedabad. But before we move on, let me quickly introduce you to our judges. We have Sophia Akoijam, COO at Sakha Consulting Wings, Krishnendu Das Gupta, Marketing Head, Brand Unilever, and Anant Rangaswamy from CNBC TV 18. So let's get started with the executive pitch. First up, we have Team Stormtroopers. Can we please have you up on stage? Alright, Stormtroopers, you're the first to present. I hope you give it a kickstart. But before you begin, let me take you through the rules. You have exactly 2 minutes to finish your presentation. All the best. Your time starts now. All teams made their presentations at the executive pitch, but only 2 will make it to the next round.
Our skilled female Sakha drivers are not able to find adequate and suitable employment.
Consider a typical upper middle class family in South Delhi looking to hire a driver.
Positioning women drivers at par with males as good drivers.
We propose that Saka should retain its drivers as their own employees.
We will be encouraging the family members to start a social trend on Facebook.
Saka's 3 services have some common elements in their value proposition, such as convenience and a safe travel environment.
For the inbound foreign travelers, we recommend tie-ups with embassies and travel agencies.
From here on, the competition is going to get exceptionally challenging, and both the teams will have to up their game to battle this round out. So the top 2 teams who have made it to the final round of today's competition are Ahura and Safari. Well, Ahura, congratulations. It's time for you now to win the judges over in the second round. But before you begin, a quick recap of rules for you. You have exactly 3 minutes to finish your presentation, after which the buzzer will sound out and you will have to stop. All the best, and your time starts now.
So the basic underlying problem is, as we mentioned, that there is a sizable market in the Delhi NCR region which we are not able to tap, with just 70% of the drivers being placed. We find that the market is of a considerable size, but the problem lies in targeting and positioning ourselves well and identifying potential markets.
So in order to quantify this problem, we went ahead and we conducted a lot of primary surveys. Based on this, we realized that there is a significant economic opportunity in terms of customer segments that we are targeting. Primarily because there is a very large gap in terms of what we are trying to do and what we have been able to accomplish so far, but customers are willing to pay for Sakha. This is evidenced by our survey, which indicates that most customers are willing to pay between 1.51 lakhs to 2.38 lakhs per annum, and this is much higher than both the mean salary for women workers in Delhi NCR as well as higher than proposed legislation on minimum wage. The other interesting thing that we did was a factor analysis based on perceptual mappings for customers, and we went ahead and narrowed down 4 largely demographic segments and how they perceive us. What we realize is that the 4 segments are families with more than one car, families with only one car, and while families with more than one car look for almost all benefits that we can provide, families with just one car look for certain very specific benefits. Using this, we went ahead and segmented the market. And an interesting thing that we did here is not only were we looking at direct customers, we were also looking at businesses that could use us. We figured that a lot of women prefer to learn from women drivers, and driving schools could actually be a good segment for us. Travel agencies as well turned out to be an segment which had a lot of latent demand that we felt that we could target. In terms of the execution plan, we went ahead and did.
So we have a 3-step execution plan. The first one is to reach out through social media because this is the cheapest form to reach a mass audience. But here we also have more focused strategies. So for example, Pinterest, which has got more than 70% of female user base. And for example, when we created a post on Instagram, we got 30 likes on the first day itself. And secondly, the testimonials that we were talking about, they are a huge credibility enhancer because people like to learn from the stories of others. And lastly, we feel that we can focus through women interest groups and even endorsed through women celebrities. We're here not to negotiate but to persuade them to see our side of the story.
You say that people are willing to pay 1.5 to 2 lakhs rupees. Then why is Sakha struggling?
The problem here, as we had already mentioned, lies in the fact that we have not been able to target the right segment.
You know the segment. How do you match that segment with the problem that Sakha has?
We found, basis our surveys, that there is a potential chunk of population among single working women and households, specifically with young children or senior citizens, who want this service more than just general households.
Does it make a difference whether it's a man or a woman who's the driver?
There is a particular segment which has a bias against women drivers, but at the same time there is a considerable size that actually wants women drivers, either because they have a huge share of dependents, either young children or old age people who they can trust with a more reliable, what they felt, more reliable and trustworthy woman driver. And lastly, that there are single working women who don't own a car. Now there could be 2 reasons why they don't own a car. One, they cannot afford it. That's not our target segment. The ones who can afford it but don't have a car, either because they can't drive or don't have the time to drive because they multitask on their way, they would actually prefer a woman driver to a man driver.
Is it possible to partner with an aggregator and offer a differentiated service? And if it were to be the case, and it could be anybody, Uber, Ola, whomever you choose, how would you proposition a service like this? Yeah, it's a slightly different question from what the case is.
Currently, speaking to certain drivers with Ola, Uber, they are pressurized with the target rides that they have to do in a day. This, we feel, goes against the ethos of what Sakha wants to promote is employment with dignity. If the women drivers are constantly under the stress of picking as many customers as possible, there's also a risk of safety towards them, and it gets very similar to the kind of pressure and the targets that the male Ola or Uber drivers have to meet.
All the problems are right, but can't you turn the problem on its head? So for instance, is there an opportunity for this to become a premium service?
Absolutely. I think so. For example, like you have an Ola Prime, you can have I can't think of a name for it yet, but you can have something which is specifically for women drivers. But at the same time, you can partner with them to counter the problems that we discussed. So, for example, don't have a 10 to 12 ride target for them. You can base it on purely on the basis of the rating that they get at the end of the drive. Their bonus is decided on that. And if women are driving more carefully, they'll definitely get a better rating. And it's also found that women are probably more polite in terms of the discussion with the passenger who they're with, again, they would get a better rating with that, because those are the two main factors that a user would rate on.
The difference between a male and a female driver, if we were to take away that gender difference and we just focus on the technical skills that is required of a driver, do you think a woman as technically skilled as a male would have no problem finding placement?
I'd actually like to draw a parallel instance to this. So I was having a discussion with a professor regarding a different aspect on the underrepresentation of women in politics. I think the same thing can be applied here. So often what happens there is there are political gatekeepers who prevent many women from coming on board, but once they are there, the electorate still feels that the man and woman are capable of carrying out the job. So similarly, if at the gatekeeper end, if the people who are hiring the women drivers, if they do not have a bias, if they can hire enough women, I'm sure the passenger who's looking for an immediate ride will not distinguish and differentiate or discriminate between a woman and a male driver.
Basically, we realized that the segment itself doesn't really exist. So we went ahead and we asked a lot of people, we talked to a lot of people, including a lot of Sakha cab drivers themselves. So a lot of primary data was collected. And then I think we did a fairly good job of representing that data and trying to convince the jury as well.
After the break, catch Team Safari face the jury. Welcome back. We are in the last stage of the competition. Team Ahura has already presented, and now it's time for Team Safari to show what they've got.
Hello everyone. Currently Saka is operating in a two-sided market with significant gaps on both sides. Women drivers aren't getting placed easily, and the ones which are getting placed are involved in household chores. On the customer side, the awareness of such a facility is really low, and the willingness is all the more disheartening due to preconceived notions regarding women drivers. Firms like Ola and Uber are adding salt to the wounds on both sides. On performing a dipstick survey with the relevant target segment, we saw that only 14% respondents were actually aware of such a service, and only 24% were willing to hire a woman driver. Through our primary research, we saw that the major reason for women being perceived as bad driver are less driving exposure, inability to handle road rage, and poor technical know-how. Further, women's safety and erratic work schedule were primary reasons for reservation against women drivers. The supporters of the idea, they were really happy that women drivers would be much more loyal and accommodating to their kids.
When we googled rent a driver in Delhi, we got the Azad Foundation result as the last link on the 4th page. Similarly, Sakha's Facebook page has only about 1300 likes. Further, on searching female driver, bad is one of the prominent category. These are all issues of low brand awareness and poor societal perception. Therefore, we need to address 3 key issues: low brand awareness, perception barrier, and need of professionalism in the system. Moving on to the solutions. To induce professionalism, Sakha should take the drivers under their wings as employees and engage on a company level with the clients by creating a formal contract on both sides. This will allow Sakha to provide high quality services as well as address issues like leaves, no-shows, overtime, etc. by providing replacement of drivers, payment through Sakha, etc. It would discourage clients to use the drivers as house help and instill a dignity in the job. However, we do realize that this would increase the administrative load on Sakha.
To increase the brand awareness as well as break the societal perceptions, we propose a mix of on-ground activation activities and digital marketing. Valet parking services at high-end restaurants, event centers and hotels would provide the much needed visibility for Sakha as well as create an impression in the customer's mind. Such collaborations will also act as future placement opportunities. Another on-ground activation would be to install thought-provoking messages in parking lots of corporates. This would address the perception behavior as well as push the brand. On the digital marketing front, Sakha can involve itself with radio stations to sponsor the traffic updates with catchy phrases to increase the top-of-the-mind recall. On the social media front, Sakha can invest into Google AdWords to increase the traffic on its website. The Facebook page can be promoted by frequently pushing creative content like safe driving tips. The social media initiatives that we have suggested would increase the brand awareness and would also be a strong step towards breaking the perception barrier. Thank you.
You said your preferred driver 24% say female.
Sorry sir, I would like to correct that. 24% were even willing to consider women as their driver.
24 are willing to consider. Isn't that a very high number?
So that is a positive signal.
It's a positive signal. Why is your undertone all negative then? What would you do with this 24%? Who are predisposed, they at least think of hiring a woman driver.
When women are drivers, so one of the major concerns that we got was that they feel that they are now responsible for the safety of women. So what we are saying is this is just a silver lining that the 1 out of 4 are even considering.
Brand awareness is low. The availability of such a service is low. That is where the second picture comes in. The 24% can be converted given that they are aware of such a facility.
Suppose you had to do only one thing to increase the brand awareness. Only one. What would you do?
We would go with the on-ground activation suggestion, the one we had on valet parking services, because that would also act as proof of concept for the ability of women to drive.
You've identified certain barriers, but I'll just kind of flip what he's trying to say. There's also perception about our women being bad drivers.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
That, in my opinion, is a predominant perception in men's mind. It may be wrong. I'd rather say it is wrong. Just by saying that, I'm going to be a safe driver, I'll take care of you. Who's going to believe it?
The point here is that we are not even considering women drivers, right?
24% are.
Yes, just 24%. I mean, that says in itself that a good 76% are not.
You're saying just many times. 24% is a huge number.
It's a huge number for
huge.
me.
It's a
if
frightening
I just
number.
get 24%, I'm good.
That is where we are bringing in the concept of proof of concept, where there is an opportunity where a man he enters the hotel and he sees that a woman is driving it around to the valet parking service. It acts as a proof that, yeah, Sakha Cabs is providing a service in a high-end hotel. If a high-end hotel Audi is coming in, then it to be able to trust the driver so that he will be able to park. It will act as a proof to him that if the hotel can trust my Audi with this person, then definitely it's a proof. This woman, definitely.
You know that driving on straight roads is much easier than trying to do valet parking, parking anywhere for that matter.
Yeah.
I need to ensure that all of these drivers which are placed in the restaurants, all of these have to be trained drivers who already been driving for at least a year. Do you agree?
So the thing is that one is that training can be improved to include parking lessons as well, and the second thing is for these kind of activities, it will be natural for Saka to select the very best drivers that it has for such promotions.
As a business, I don't think that's a practical solution for me. If I have to select like 15 very good drivers out of 50.
It was quite intense. We were literally sweating, all three of us.
Alright, now for the moment of reckoning. Both the teams battled it out bravely, but only one makes it to the semi-final round of L.I.M.E Season 8. The winning team will receive a cash prize of Rs 1 lakh, and each member of the winning team will be fast-tracked to the prelim interview round of Unilever Future Leaders Program to be a management trainee during campus placements. Also, some lovely HUL hampers will be given away to all the contestants. So the team that has made it to the semi-final round of L.I.M E Season 8 is Team Safari.
This case was a bit different given that women drivers was being considered. So we started off with whether women drivers are accepted in the society in the first place. So we started off with that, and it was a bit different approach to what other teams have taken. That helped us a lot in the long run, I guess.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.